Welcome to the Exposer. So yesterday, Spac Nation pastor PT did a live on his Periscope yesterday where he was addressing the likes of myself and the people on Twitter and anyone in general who's talking about Spac Nation. So I'll be playing his clips from his live yesterday and I'll be breaking it down for you guys.
There are people who have questions out of doubt. There are people who have questions out of seeking knowledge. Those who have questions out of doubt, they won't make it. Listen, there is nothing you can do about it. I've said something, and I don't apologize to say it. 1 million people on Twitter, right? Or whatever they say, the platform you guys use. My question is, now that you are saying all these things, and you're putting all these things together, please, I'm asking you for one thing. Be better than your fathers. Do something about it. Be angry enough to come do something. No, you can't? Yeah, I guess as much. Our fathers were, they were couch commentators. You can't do anything. Yeah, we just comment on couch. Be better than your dad. Be angry. Protest. Report. Do something. Let's be better than our parents.
This is a pastor talking like this. He's indirectly threatening the likes of myself and the people who are talking about Spac Nation. The guy said, do something about it. Do something about it. This is not a guy who's confident. This is a guy who's very scared. And it's getting to him. So like I said, this is the method he will use to reassure his members. To fire them up. To go against the guys that are speaking against Spac Nation. This is what he does. How can a pastor say people who are expressing their opinions have fathers who just sit on the couch and do nothing? And we're basically replicating what our fathers have done. So this is a guy that's labeling every single person that's going against Spac Nation to be a nobody. That's basically what he's saying. But this is why this guy is corrupted. Because there's people who have left Spac Nation whose lives have been ruined by him. There's a lot of people who have been put in debt by this guy. There's a lot of families which have been ruined by this guy. Because he has manipulated young people who have left their homes to go and live with Spac Nation to be groomed there. This is the problem. And this is what he's failing to understand. He knows the truth. But his main focus is keeping his members away from anyone that speaks against Spac Nation. He isn't even trying to basically admit to any wrongdoing. So instead, he's coming on the video and he's insulting members of the public.
No, the mystery of the seed is miracles. I've only got one word. I don't need everybody giving. I need 50 givers. And I need people to give to a point where people fall off. This is a focus, guys. And I've been saying this. I'm not playing. Your community, this is not play for me. This is target. I've been saying it from day one, 14 years ago. Where we are today is where I need to get to. It's either you're called or you're caught. It's a covenant. We have 10,000 people in this city called. It's very simple. It is those who are called to be givers, they're just gonna do it. They don't do it because they understand it. I don't understand giving. But it's more like I don't understand how seed and harvest work. I don't understand it. Do I want to understand it? No, I don't need to understand it. The mystery of the forming of bones, I don't care. I just know that if that seed is sown, a child will come out. It's as simple as that.
Here he's at it again, talking about seed. He's saying he only needs 50 givers. In other words, he's giving those 50 guys a target. This is the reason he doesn't need the whole church giving. This guy tries to be strategic. He tries to make it look like he doesn't ask members of the church to give him seeds. But behind the scene, he has a secret WhatsApp where he has members that give and he gives them a target. He almost said our community is broke and held his lip back. This is another pastor talking like this. He said where they are today, he needs to get to, which doesn't make sense. I don't know what he was trying to say there, but that just doesn't make sense. And he also said he doesn't understand what giving is. But this is the same guy who's forcing people to give 5, 10K every month. This is a guy who's forcing 10 different fellowships to raise 15 plus K for him every month. This guy is deluded. How can you say you don't understand what giving is? But then you're the one that preaches about giving 24/7.
People who live on information about other people are the most foolish people in the world. I don't want to live on any information. I want to go see it. Let me see.
In that video, he's insulting you guys. Anyone who watches my video, or anyone who watches TK's live, or anyone that goes at Spac Nation on Twitter, he's basically saying that you guys are foolish. He's saying you guys should go and see it for yourself. But members of the public are not stupid. Because today we know that when you go to Spac Nation, everything will seem like it's normal. But it's what goes on behind the scene. It's what he does behind the scene that people know now that's being exposed. That's why he doesn't like it. So he's encouraging people to go to his church on a normal Sunday service and see that the church is normal. But we all know now Spac Nation is a secret society. It's a cult. So only a few members know really what's going on. The ones that are deep in it. The ones that are frauding people and the ones that are evangelizing to bring souls to Spac Nation. They're the ones who really know what's going on at Spac Nation. But someone who just wants to go check out Spac Nation will not really know anything about the church because they're only going to show that person what the person wants to see.
I don't care how good somebody is to the whole world. I care about my relationship with them. So to the whole world, they are the worst person. But for me, I must find out why God set that person up in my life.
So in that video, he's basically trying to address why he has all these corrupted people around him. He made a good point by saying, like, it's about his relationship with them, that he needs to understand why God brought them to his life. But he's not using them for what God sent them to do. He's using them for them to carry on doing bad things, which means he doesn't have a good heart. He's only bringing that type of people around him because he knows that he can profit from those people. He knows that he feels more protected having people like that around him. That's the only reason he has them. He doesn't have them to try and give them a better life. He has them around him so that he can better his own life, which is a selfish reason.
For me, that's what seed does for me. It makes the right people come in and it makes me shut people out. And I don't even know why. I just realized that I don't want to get close to her. I don't care if, oh yeah, he's an evangelist in Spac Nation. I don't feel it. But they will still do their purpose. That's what they are saying. So when they do, I just feel, yeah, that's their purpose. It's beautiful. No strain. Why? Because I trust God with life. It's very simple. Someone said, give me scriptures for that. I said, read your Bible, bro. Joshua and Moses.
This is PT waffling at the highest level. This is what he does most times. He isn't saying anything great. The only thing he said is he's connecting having these wrong people around him to somehow tying it up with seed. He's basically saying people giving is basically allowing important people to come into his life. That's basically what he said. And later on, whatever he's talking about doesn't even make sense. And on his Periscope, he's questioned, can you bring up a scripture that references that? And he just says, just read your Bible, because he has nothing to say. A man of God who is speechless cannot even explain what he's talking about.
Listen to me very well, because I've been in this for over a decade. We cannot grow to where we dream we would be having the wrong people among us. It's not going to work. I'm telling you now. And say, I need answers for everything. I say, I don't have answers for everything. And what makes you feel that you've earned the right for answers for everything? Why are you suffering from delusion of grandeur? What's going on? Pride, right?
So he just said he's been doing this for 10 years and he only needs the right people around him. So this is a guy with no feelings. There's people that have served in his church for 5, 6, 7 years that have left. He's calling them the wrong people just because they're left. So every good they did for him, every seed they gave to him means nothing to him. Because ultimately, they're the wrong people. So he just said he just needs the right people. He's not really breaking down what the right people is. And he's also saying for people who are trying to get answers from him, what gave them the right for him to answer to them? That's what he's basically also saying. This guy, who has the most outrageous allegation about his church, does not even feel the need to answer anybody. And he wants to talk about us having pride.
So if I want to do something, I take counsel from the people who have qualified. I don't take counsel from idiots, because it's not going to work. It's not just going to work. A person can only take you where they've been. So we've chosen our focus. Spac Nation is what it is. It is what it is. It's as simple as that. And I want to encourage you on something. I want you to think about a wider world. Bigger than the world you and I grew up in. That's all I'm going to say, so that it doesn't look like I'm responding to anything. I'm not responding to anything.
In other words, he's basically saying, if he's going to listen to anyone, it's going to have to be people who are qualified. He said he's not taking anything from idiots. So he's basically saying we're all idiots. Everyone that basically says anything about Spac Nation, or anyone that wants to know anything about them, are idiots. And his answer to what Spac Nation do is, Spac Nation is what it is. He can't even elaborate on what his organization is, because right now everyone knows Spac Nation for being everything that is known as bad.
Let me end with this. Please listen to me, Spac Nation, or our friends or spies. Listen, please do not think of now. Let's think 15 years time. How old are you now, laddie?
21, sir.
21. In 15 years, it will be 36. In 10 to 20 years, Spac Nation will have leaders of political parties. Leaders in every field. The only thing the devil can try to do is to stop you. If he cannot, mark my words today, it is not possible for anyone that has not built with a community to become leader of anything. Think 15, 10, 20 years. That looks like so long. Believe me, it's not. There's no reason for you to get all the things you think you need now, only to get to those age and that age and realize that it was all a failure. There's no need. It's a waste of time. We're going to be leaders of political parties in this country and beyond. We're going to be leaders in everything from football. It's not different. You see me taking Laddie to the stadium. Why do I know it works? Because there was a time I was taking someone to cinema when they can't afford Odeon. And what did they end up to be? Hollywood people or person. It's simple. It's a principle. It works because I've tested it. That's the truth. That's the fact. So what do we do every Sunday in Spac Nation? We take ourselves to dream. We form programs that is like taking 1,000 people to a dream place and showing them possibility. I don't need those 1,000 people giving. I just need some core givers, and that may be 10.
The guy just said, don't think now, think in 15 years. He's finding another plan to keep his members there, giving everything they have for the next 15 years, to just raise their debts, while Spac Nation breaks down and he runs away to Nigeria. The guy said, you don't need anything now. And he even said he used to take someone to cinema and that person couldn't even afford it, and today they're in Hollywood. He's talking about his own cousin, John Boyega, the star of Star Wars. Well, let me remind people that, of course, at one point, John Boyega couldn't afford cinema ticket because he was a kid. Pastor Toby is probably almost 20 years older than his own cousin. So I'm sure he used to take someone cinemas, but that kid was like probably 10 years old or 11-year-old. He's using that as a reference to basically scam his own people. He's trying to give them a dream. And he said, take yourself to Spac to dream and sell others the possibilities. So he's basically saying to his members, bring people to Spac Nation. We will show them wealth and make them dream about wealth. That's basically what he's saying. He's exposing himself without realizing it. He thinks he's saying the right things, but this is a problem with him. He can't control himself when he talks. When he's live on a Periscope, he can't control himself. That's why he's scared to be interviewed by people who have real questions to ask. And at the end of the video, he mentioned he only needs cold givers, meaning he needs people that are crazy, that give him crazy amount of money. That's all he needs. He doesn't need people giving him 10, 20, 50 pounds. He needs people that are going to give him 10 to 20k every month. That's what he wants. This guy has basically admitted live on a video that Spac Nation is a church that sells people dreams. And he's also fooling his members again by telling them, carry on giving and keep dreaming. In 15 years, we will be running everything. We will have everything. But there's no proof or evidence to where the money goes.
I realized that even with it, nothing comes out of it. They can't do anything. It is what it is.
Talk about arrogance. He just said, basically, he's realized everyone that's talking can't do nothing to him. And it is what it is. This is a pastor basically saying things like this. Carry on talking, you can't do nothing. The arrogance this guy has is not normal.
Hashtag 100 3Gs take over. By now, anytime 3G meets, it should be like 150, 200 though. Anytime. But I need us to make a statement in Croydon this Sunday. I need us to. Yeah. And I think we can. A positive statement. A statement, a show of God's power. A statement of faith. Both in our giving and in our mobilizing for souls. It's simple. Listen, souls and seed will never depart from my mouth. I'm very sorry. If people are angry, they can talk, and do whatever they like next. Or it's not going to work. Souls. We can and we will. Very simple.
So he starts off by saying, members of his church need to make a statement this Sunday in Croydon. And then he somehow manages to get into soul and giving again. And then he realizes, I'm talking about money again. But then he says he will never stop talking about seeds, ever. He said he never will. So instead of encouraging his members to say, we need to show how passionate we are about God this Sunday, we need to show people how Spac cares about Jesus, the guy just says we need to make a statement by how many people come to the church and how much money we give. The guy is just hungry and desperate for money.
If we want to retweet him, people work on it. If we want to give, we all give together. If we want to get hungry, we all get hungry together. If we want to mobilize, we mobilize together. We win souls. Soul Snatcher is not a department. It's just a coordinated group for the time being. It's simple. And it's beautiful. And that's how we'll keep it.
Here again, he's bringing up the rules of his cult. We give together, get hungry together, eat together, everything together. And then he mentions soul snatchers. He's created a group in his church called Soul Snatchers. These are people that will go in the public and basically bring people to Spac. That's their job. Their job is to go on the streets and make sure they bring enough members to church. That's the plan. This is unbelievably a cult. I don't know what kind of evidence anyone needs. These are words coming out of the main pastor's mouth himself. He's repeating the same thing as you can hear. Money, souls. Money, souls. Nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with the Bible. Just souls, seeds. That's it.
I heard songs, Chelsea chanted. I saw a man standing, old man, English old man. And I said, that's author, you know. He will stand up and say stuff and he's so passionate. And when Chelsea was not winning toward the end, some of their supporters started walking away in anger. So much passion in the cold, in the thick and thin. They paid, I think, yeah. They paid to be on that field. They can't even see the footballers. They can't even move near them. But they will pay. They are dedicated. They are fighting for their team. And when their team fails or doesn't win, they are crying. They are unhappy. They are sad for football. And that's right, Pastor Breed. And they will be back next week. And they have passion. So I see why the church cannot win the world. I see it now. They pay every week. They even buy season ticket for temporary gain. But these, for the Lord Jesus Christ, they are not cheering football. They are cheering Chelsea. They even have a song that is just Chelsea. For me, I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking, can the church ever gather this kind of number of people with so much passion? The way they sow for football, I saw it tonight, and the sowing is on. Look, forget the sowing of the payment to come and watch the football. People were betting. Rich people are betting and say, "Oh, I've lost." They're putting thousands of pounds. My manager at work pays about 3K for season ticket for Liverpool every year. Yep. Brother money. And they're betting. Thousands of pounds betting. Unbelievable for football, guys. Football. And you know what shocks me the most? So that you know that not the Church of Jesus. People who try to talk about church, they are unstable in their brain. I saw they announced something. They said 9 out of those 10 players are younger than 22 years old. You showed me a player on the field that is how old now? 17. That's not brainwashing. That's not grooming. That's because it's football. Everybody has accepted it. A 17-year-old guy.
They've been nursing them at 8.
Huh?
They've been nursing them at 8.
And they've been nursing them since 8. All that is in their brain. And that's why sometimes people will say footballers are not smart. Because from 8, all they taught them was football. And because that brings money into a family, it's fine. So, but we can't have a 17-year-old pastor. We can't have a 16-year-old minister who is a giver and who is a diehard for God. But we can have a 16-year-old footballer. And it's okay for them to earn 200K or 100K or 50K a week. Unbelievable. No one asks about Chelsea safeguarding technique. I don't understand it. So this will make you know that all this is an attack against the name of Jesus.
So in that video, he's basically comparing Chelsea Football Club to Spac Nation. And he's basically saying, whatever Chelsea are doing is acceptable. Like spending thousands of pounds on tickets to get season memberships at Chelsea. He's also saying that the fans are passionate. Like, they get upset, they die hard for Chelsea. Win or lose. But he's saying with the church, there's an issue when people do that with Spac. He also mentioned that a lot of the players that played for Chelsea yesterday were under the age of 22. When one player was 17 years old. And he said that majority of those players have been nursed at Chelsea since they're 8 years old. But he's saying that there's a problem when he ordains people who are 16 and 17 as Spac Nation. But this is where this guy's got himself confused. First of all, the players that Chelsea nurse from the age of 8 have consent from the parents. These young players have their parents on the sidelines supporting, making sure that everything is acceptable and normal. And also, when these players make it into the professional world, Chelsea Football Club pays them money. The players do not pay Chelsea money. Chelsea Football Club pays them. It becomes a job. But with Spac Nation, the young members that he grooms and ordains are the ones giving him. He gives them nothing back. So he cannot compare Chelsea Football Club to an organisation that uses their own members. Chelsea Football Club, it works both ways. The players have to perform for Chelsea Football Club, but the players are also paid a lot of money to perform for Chelsea Football Club. So it's totally two different things, two different ideas, two different philosophies. So I don't know why he's trying to make the comparisons. They are nothing alike. He can't justify grooming them young kids as Spac Nation because he's bringing them, these young kids, from homes, from happy homes, by the way, into Spac Nation, and he's destroying them young kids because he's grooming them till they get to a certain age where he can get money from them. That's what he does. Chelsea don't groom these young kids. Chelsea Football Club train them a couple hours a day, and these young kids go back to their families. So their families are the ones that are actually looking after their children. So he's talking rubbish.
So what actually is happening to the world is they are bitter and they are going mad. And their madness has just started. The world will have things to say, and that's especially our community. That's what they've always been doing. They just sit down at home and pass comments. Achieve in the community, positive or negative, achieve, no. We're just commentators. So it doesn't mean anything. If our children become commentators, it's not new. Their fathers too were just commentators. Nothing comes out of it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So he says the world is bitter and they're mad. And he mentions, again, our community just talks about his past comments. He said that we're just commentators. And he said whoever basically commentates about him, their fathers were commentators. So in other words, he's basically saying, you're raised badly. What you're doing now is what your dad also did. That's what he's basically saying. This guy does not know how to hold back. But you know what this shows? Signs of frustration. He's very angry with the community. He thinks the community should be supporting him. He's very naive to think we are going to support him after all of the bad things he's doing. No one turned on Spac Nation for no reason. It's because he's destroyed our community. And he even had the audacity to come and insult us and our fathers. This is the kind of man that runs a church. This is why people need to open their eyes and understand it is not a church. It is a cult. Only a member of a cult can speak like this.
We start our soul snatching from Friday. Soul snatch with confidence. Speak to higher class of people. The more higher class you know, the more lower class we can help. Will all the lower class be grateful? No, you should not expect gratefulness from everybody. It doesn't mean anything. But God will pay you for every good, not them. Any question? 400 of us will register for Friday. 400, 500 of us will be out on Saturday. Not for conservative, not for labor, for Jade. For Jade for Croydon. For Jade for Croydon.
He mentioned on Friday they're doing the soul snatching. He said soul snatch with confidence and speak with the higher class. Basically, he's telling his members, go on the streets and stop people who look like they have money and bring them to Spac Nation. So we can corrupt them and then get money from them to help the lower class. This is technically what he's trying to say. He's saying that the lower class are not going to be grateful and they shouldn't care about what the lower class think, because at the end of the day, God will repay them for it. Are you guys listening? Soul snatch only people of higher class. And this is supposed to be a church. A church is meant to be open to everybody. Should you not be evangelizing to everyone? But he's only wants them to evangelize to people of higher class, because that shows he just cares about money. What more do people need to see to understand? We need to continue to expose them. Do not let them think. Do not let them breathe, because this is getting to them. This is why he's speaking like this. He no longer wants members who don't have money. Members that are basically going to come Spac Nation, realize that it's a cult and leave. He wants people of higher class. People he can manipulate and fool, so that he can get a big cut from them. So if they leave, it doesn't matter. He got something from them. He doesn't want to waste his time anymore with people who are not going to give, basically. So go out there on the streets and stop members with money.
Love you too. Thank you. Karima Nation, love you too. Pastor Claudette. Okay, let's do this now. Awesome. Pastor Miriam is here, you know.
Great.
I must emphasize, this Periscope is done late into the night. It's midnight. He's got the Pablo Escobar female at Spac Nation, Miriam, next to him. He's got other young girls with him in the house. This is a guy who's meant to be a pastor, but he's around his members 24/7. And people cannot see that this is a cult. He needs to have control of his members at all times. So he has all the powerful ones around him. That's what he does. But I just showed you the Periscope. You saw it for yourself. Him saying he's not going to respond to the likes of myself and other people, but he's doing it without meaning to do it, because he cannot hold his lip. The guy must talk. He can't stop talking, which shows that everything we're doing is working. The exposing is destroying them. And I must emphasize, I'm not doing this to ruin his life. I'm doing this to stop an organization that's destroying our community. And I'm doing this to help the young members that are there to escape. Like TK says, let the youngers go. Let the youngers go. So this was the Periscope of Pastor Toby. Like I said, from time to time, I'll be watching his Periscope and breaking it down for you guys, because I know. For people who have asked questions, yes, I was at Spac Nation. And I have a lot of people that are still in Spac Nation. I have leaders at Spac Nation who are feeding me also information. So I know a lot from my time being there, and I know a lot till now, because I still have people there who are going to leave Spac Nation, but they're feeding us with the information. And the fact that they don't know who I am will cause them paranoia. So this is the reason why I'm disguising myself. I'm not afraid of Spac Nation. I'm doing this because they don't know who it's coming from. So this is getting them more paranoid. So I'll be exposing them, like I said, till the end of this nonsense. Thank you.